Welcome back, family, friends, and fellow gamers, to Game Bros playing Super Mario Galaxy. I was going to say Super Mario Paper or something. We're going to attempt again. Oh, let me fix Josh's mic.
It's fine.
Okay. It's not supposed to be like...
You can hear me more than enough.
Yeah, it's kind of like laying on him.
Let me pull this off.
We need to get a new mic.
No, I think
we're
you just...
using is
you
a...
have to, yeah, I don't think you use that.
It's a USB mic, which honestly, it sounds pretty good. USB mic sounds pretty good. But to get it so that it's not getting a bunch of noise, we have a big, what's called a chaotic eyeball on it, and it kind of weighs it down.
It's like, and what you don't know is that it's actually a universal serial bus mic.
Yeah.
That sounds technical, which is what USB stands for. So
yeah, it uses
wow.
a floppy drive.
It's a universal. So that's something actually I remember some video on TikTok, and they were like, "Why do they call them floppy disks if they're not floppy?" Like that was the person's thing, and then the person like, so the floppy disks that I know are the ones that are actually fairly rigid. You know, like they're called floppy disks because there were disks that they had that were floppy, and then they made other ones that weren't as big, because the ones that this one guy pulled out, they were like 7 inches wide, maybe even more than that, and it was literally, you could take it and like do this, and it was just like
wow.
It was really floppy.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it would work very often. If it's that,
it's like at this point in time, they're just like, we didn't even know if computers are going to take off. We probably shouldn't invest too much money because we really have no idea if computers are going to take off or not. Quick, blast it and don't.
Nope, you missed. He's going to turn around quickly, fire it before he turns around.
Wow.
All right, fire another one. Oh,
he was like, Captain, should we like focus on defenses? He was like, no, just shoot a whole bunch of missiles.
Like it's open.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you're supposed to shoot them. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get them to... Right there. Can you shoot it there?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I bet that's probably how you're supposed to do it. No,
Wimp.
Yoshi. Oh, man.
Gosh, that timing is weird.
And the fact that, yeah, you're having to jump over those laser things.
Let me get some health. Or not. And Yoshi goes away because... why do you go away sometimes? I don't understand. It's like the guy you watch play Ark.
And
He's
fire.
Like, oh, I
There we go.
But I keep forgetting that... So I was going to say last time, like, in a normal situation, you can jump over a gap and fire midair. Mario, like, he stops moving, which, you know, helps me out. Gosh, this is actually, like, I've always thought Super Mario Galaxy was, like, a lot easier than the other games. I feel like the second one is just harder. That, or just because I'm playing it every so often, I'm not really, like, focusing that much. Because like that, you fire, and then he fires, spins, but then you can't do the A to hold him up or anything. You just fall, and so you have to calculate that while you're doing it. Like, you fire the missile, he does fall down. You can't change that at all.
At least his rates aren't, like, every time you go to him, he's like, okay, great, you want to buy something? That'll be 40 star bits. And you're like, last time it was 30. And he's like, yeah, well, supply and demand, you know?
Yeah.
He goes,
You're like,
more and
I
more
am the
expensive.
only one who buys these. Oh, and also, if I don't buy these and defeat Bowser, you're all gonna die. He's like, well, you know, risk reward. What? Risk, sure, whatever. No, one of the things I was going to say regarding the computer programming thing we were doing, I've learned a bit of coding myself. Just, there was a thing program. We are getting a phone call. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I was going to say something along the lines of coding. I've done some coding myself, and one of the things that you do learn is that there's different types of data that your computer can handle, and it's like, there's something called strings, which is just text files, basically, or not text files, but you can have the computer like print out a phrase, and you have to turn it into a string, and then tell it print this out, or integers, or what are called floats, or there's another name for it, but decimal, like integers or whole numbers, and so on. Then there's one called the Boolean, which is either a true or false value. And we're looking at comparative operators, which are something called like and or. And one of the things I just kind of found this cool is like that's true in more than just computer programming. It basically said if one statement is true and you use and the second statement is false, then the entire statement is false.
Darn it. Yeah.
So it's not like, well, it's partially true. Now, granted, it's a little more complex than a lot of what we deal with, in the sense of like, you could have bad information, and so the first part was true, but the second part, just you had bad information, so it's not really true. But when it comes down to like, I'm going to tell a story, and I know all the information, but I'm going to basically lie in one section, then it makes the entire story false. Like, there might be true parts to it. I'll say that. But it's a full lie, basically.
What is that
thing?
What's the purpose of that in coding? If you know, like,
you can use it to do different type of conditions, so that there's something called if statements, if then or if else statements.
Yeah.
And you can say to the code, if this condition is true, do this. If not, do something else. And so then, that's the condition is a Boolean. Sorry, I'm not even paying attention. Oh, come on! Like, hit the little rim. I can't fly up, and I can't aim.
Darn it, man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're correct. I have to do it there, but how do I do it where?
Yeah. So does anybody in the chat? Is anybody in the chat into coding? Oh man, what? Like, you have to.
My timing is off.
Yeah, I mean, probably the last time he slams is when to shoot it, because he's down there for quite a while. So now,
yeah. So I have to be in the air and just do it the second time. Yeah, and then if you do, what language do you code in? Because that's another thing that's different.
What are you learning? Do you know yet? Like, have they? Oh no! Why'd you shoot the second one?
Oh gosh. We're learning. Well, right now we're doing Python, which is a language. Oh gosh. And it's actually, this is something that I had learned too, because I don't know if Joseph, our eldest brother, I don't know if he codes in, I know he knows C#, which is another programming language. I don't know if he, I don't know if that's what he's normally coding in, but one of the things they did say was that a computer only functions in ones and zeros, meaning on or off. That's the only thing it understands. And it's kind of funny, like, how do you get a video game out of ones and zeros?
Yeah,
and
that's like true.
Well, and you do, but it comes down to basically the computer can take 2 billion bits, or actually probably 200 billion bits or something like that, and it knows that this string of 100,000 is the letter H, or it's not that far, but like, say this string of 100,000 is this image, and this string of 200 million is this instruction to take that image and put it here. And so it because of just how that works, it's able to do that. Now we have things called computer languages, which are more like actual English. Now there's still syntax and they have to be like exact, but you can say like, do this when this happens, and then wait and do this when this happens. And then the computer does something called compiling and makes it into ones and zeros and then runs it. But that is kind of crazy, because it's kind of like, it's on Futurama. Bender, at one point, there's a time-traveling, like, tattoo or something like that, where it's zooming really far in, and it's just a whole bunch of ones and zeros, and then at some point in time, he just starts saying 101, 1010, and then, like, he goes back in time, and you're like, how the heck does that work? And it's like, well, he's saying it really, really fast, and then it's running the, quote, code. Of course, then, how do you, like, software doesn't do that, it doesn't matter if the software works if you don't have hardware that could, drill a hole in the ground. Software could be fine, but so whatever.
All right, guys. Next time on Game Bros, we'll continue with the fourth galaxy or fourth world. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one.